Hi, Global Kids. This is Mrs. Hebert.
And Miss Hanovich is here. Hello, everybody.
This is awesome. We have this down pat. This is so cool. We're FaceTiming and recording at the same time.
And we are ready to start with a new unit. We are done with the Middle Ages.
Yeah. So this new unit is Africa, and I actually really wish that we were in class doing this unit because this is a cool unit. We look at a lot of awesome pictures, we play some cool music. So Miss Hanovich and I are gonna do the best we can to make it just as fun, but online.
Yeah, and guys, again, always look on your own. If you really find something that's interesting, you can do some research. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos on this unit that you can always look up, and you can go on art galleries online, so you really can explore it on your own.
Right, exactly. So, as far as your to do list for this lesson, this is for Tuesday, April 21st. And again, this week is where we start going to alternating days. So, you will only hear from myself and Miss Hanovich today, Tuesday, and then you'll hear from us again on Thursday where we'll post another assignment. Now, you will hear from us in between because we're grading and we're trying to make sure that everybody's up to date on their assignments. But as far as new stuff, you're only going to see it on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Exactly. But that being said, if you have a question on Monday, make sure to email us. We are still responding, and we're going to help you any way we can.
Right. And between today, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we do have a list of phone calls. We're working through contacting anybody who's missed one of the first assignments from the fourth quarter. Just again, it's a lot easier to make it up now in the beginning as opposed to at the end of the quarter when everything is over and we want to make sure that you all get a good grade and pass the fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully this Tuesday Thursday schedule will work out pretty well too. Give everyone some sitting room. Yeah, so we can help you guys a little bit more.
Yeah. So this is your to-do list. All you got to do is listen to this screencast. The note sheet, I'm going to bring it up on my computer right now. This note sheet here on it'll be posted with today's assignment. You're just using Google Earth to answer these questions. Now,
Woo-hoo!
you are not submitting it. That's the great part. You're not submitting it to myself and Miss Hanovich. You're going to take it and file it away in your Google Drive. And then you're going to use it on Thursday when you take a little Google form Q&A on this material.
Yeah, so for me personally, I would definitely do it because I always learn more by doing things myself and by writing it down. And again, this will be very helpful for you on Thursday when you have an assignment based on this.
Right.
And again, if you have any questions, even if you just want to kind of share it with us so we can give it the okay, if you're just a little nervous about something, no problem. You can always share it with us. But again, it's not mandatory. You don't have to. Don't look for a place on Google Classroom to submit it. It's not going to be there. Don't panic.
Right.
But it is just for you.
Exactly. All right, so for this lesson, usually we would display this whole big satellite map on the board, and we would go around and we'd have you all make some different inferences about Africa's geography just based off of what you see on this map. So I don't know, Miss Hanovich, do you have an inference that you can make?
Well, what's the one thing I can see right away is it's going to be based on the shape of Africa, right? That's what we're talking about, this continent of Africa. What can we say where we have something that's surrounded by three bodies of water? Starts with the P. I'm hoping you're saying it at home. I hope you're screaming it at my screen right now, right? So we can talk about how it's a peninsula, right? What else, Miss Ebert?
I don't know. I always notice the colors right away. Like I noticed that northern Africa, there's a lot of brown, so maybe that means that there's a desert, and then it kind of fades out into this lighter brown and green, and so it seems like they have a very diverse landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most important thing you can notice, although I guess, harder to tell on the map, is that Africa is indeed a continent and not a country.
Yes.
I have a professor in college who, if anyone even said that by accident that Africa was a country, he would actually kick them out of class. That's very important for you to know.
I believe it. And if you guys are able to look closely, or if you're able to bring up a different map of Africa, you can see that there's different countries labeled on the continent. So like up here you have Algeria, there's Mali, the Sudan. Those are all countries within the continent.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and most importantly, there's this Mediterranean Sea up in the north.
Oh, we know that.
Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind, Global Kids. All right, Ms. Hanovich, I'm switching. I'm on the slide with deserts, not
Got
desserts.
Yeah, one S. We don't want more deserts.
Oh, look, in this GIF, it's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So deserts, something we've talked about before. That's a geographic feature we've mentioned quite a bit. What's interesting with Africa is that 45% of it is desert. That is a large percent. So right away you should know if there's a desert, it's going to be hard to do certain things, right? We know that agriculture is going to be really tough. Any kind of civilization starting there is not going to be as likely, or it'll be very difficult to do. Because, as we can see in the yellow font, there's little rainfall and extreme temperatures.
You gotta bundle up at night. Everybody has this misconception, right, that it's super, super hot in the desert, which it is during the day, but then at night, it's the exact opposite. So, you've got two different extremes, yeah. And just some two important vocabulary words. I feel like we've spoken about deforestation before.
Yeah, we have.
Right? So deforestation, when you cut down the trees and plants to make space. But now we have this new one, desertification. I always butcher that when I say it. Desertification. So that's when the desert is getting bigger.
Right.
So it's kind of like, it always reminds me of erosion, but like there's just like, it's getting bigger. It's taking, and this is happening in Africa. The Sahara is getting bigger and taking over more and more of the continent.
Right, and if you stop and think about it, like, you know, of course, I wish I could discuss it with you guys, but why be a problem? And if we stop and really think, we know it's a problem because that's, you know, taking over a lot of that green that we saw on the map before. So it's harder to grow things, harder to settle.
Right. And now, so the Sahel, like, speaking of that, that land that's becoming desert but isn't quite desert, that's this land that we're talking about here. So it's semi-arid.
Yeah.
It's like a mix.
Yeah, so it's right in between being desert and almost like livable, I guess, if you want to say, with a lot of green. It's right in between. So that's why it's that's what it means. It's a transition zone.
Right. And there's super cute animals there.
So I had just read, I think that this gerbil is like, it's like, I think it eats like 10% of all the green vegetation there. That's a predominant animal that eats all the green.
Yep. Yeah. It's so funny.
And again, because it's semi-arid, it's not going to be raining as often. It does have that mixture of desert, and so it's only going to, you're only going to see plant life after a rainy season.
Right. So here is where we get a little bit more green. And that's what I mean with the land. So this is the savanna. So this is where you're going to find your really awesome animals. The large mammal species that Africa is known for, like the lions, the giraffes, and the elephants. If you go on a safari, this is probably where you're going to go, is the savanna.
Thinking Lion King.
Right.
That's where my mind went to right away.
Planet Earth has a really awesome, they have a really awesome episode about this, where they show you, like, with drone footage and everything, they show you the savanna. It's great.
Totally worth looking up on YouTube. I had told Miss Hebert before we started, I tried to find a video. I get a little upset at the circle of life with the animals going at each other, so I didn't want to put it in there.
Right, we didn't want to put any of those in here.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, but if you want to look them up on your own, feel free. All right, believe it or not, we've got another type of land. So Africa does have some rainforest. A lot of it is in jeopardy of being destroyed. I feel like every year there's always articles, there's always news about the rainforest getting destroyed. But hopefully the message that you're getting out of all of this is that, you know, we went from talking about deserts to the Sahel to savannas to now the rainforest. The geography is really, really diverse.
Yes, very different and very inclusive. A lot of different things in different places, for sure.
Right. And yeah, I feel like we've already spoken about natural barriers a little bit, but these are three that are pretty unique to Africa. So something that is really unique, and this is also another common misconception, Africa has smooth coastlines, so there's not a lot of natural harbors. Any harbors that they do have, they've got to build them. They're man-made.
I think that Victoria's Falls is so gorgeous.
It is. That's an awesome gift, too.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And if we go to the next one, I just thought this kind of, speaking of gifts, is so cool because it just kind of shows, like, I think a lot of us have this concept of Africa where we do think of something like the Lion King or like the safaris and stuff. It is a lot more. It is very diverse. There is a lot more to it. Even like, you know, having these beaches and cliffs.
Right. There's also like a very big misconception that Africa is like deserted. Like there's not like they're underdeveloped or they don't have technology, and that's not the case. in the majority of Africa. And hopefully you'll see that when you guys do the activity for today on Google Earth. Like, you'll see if you go to Cape Town looks a lot like a regular city here in the United States, almost like Boston or New York City. So there are a lot of misconceptions out there, which is why I really wish that we were doing this in person. But here we are.
We do the best we can.
We're doing the best we can. I'm right there with you, Ms. Hanovich. I'm on this same slide.
Perfect. All right, so this is something, and I think we really need to focus, kind of keep in the back of your minds for the rest of the unit as well, where each of these three different kingdoms or empires are. So if you look at the map, you can see it. It's definitely labeled. You just have to make sure that you're looking at like pretty much like the right color. Like we see Mali and Ghana are like right next to each other.
Mm-hmm. And then you've got Songhai.
Oh, right to the right. Yep.
Yeah.
All in that same little area. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind, unless you have something you want to.
I mean, hopefully you're noticing what section of the country they're in, and that'll be a big hint for you on Thursday. But those are really the places that we're going to focus on Thursday during this unit. All right. So as far as what you all have to do, you are going to use Google Earth to complete, there's 3 parts to this activity. I'm sorry, there's 4. So the 4th part, you're kind of on your own. But you have part 1 here, you're just going over the oceans, the different seas, you're making some inferences. Here, find us 2 rivers, answer this question about how lakes and rivers are similar to highways. And then right here, just some more, this is very basic and it should be very easy for you to complete on using Google Earth.
Very familiar. You guys have done Google Earth activities almost every single unit we've done in class.
Right, exactly. And now
it works a little bit better now too.
It should, yeah, especially because you're on your own, you're at home. I'm switching to the worksheet just so you can see part 4. So part 4 is you're going to use Google Earth to explore anything that you want in Africa. And then you're going to write 2 of your own questions and answer them. So that's very straightforward. Now, if, God forbid, you are having trouble accessing Google Earth, we put a link directly right here. So if you click this link, it should just bring you to Africa in Google Earth.
Yep.
So,
and
yeah.
If that, for whatever reasons, aren't working, if you want to let us know.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these questions, if you look through, you can look at, maps and figure it there as well. Might not be as fun, but it's definitely doable.
Exactly.
And again, definitely helpful for Thursday. So please do it.
Right. Definitely make sure that you get this done, and it should be fun. I don't know. It's always fun to play around on Google Earth.
I like it. I think it's fun.
All right.
That's all I got.
So, yeah, that's all I got. That's it. Hopefully you all watch the screencast, and if you're talking to other kids who are in this class, maybe you want to encourage them to watch the screencast as well, because what we're noticing is that we're explaining some of the directions in the screencast, and not everybody's following them.
Yeah, I got a lot about middle-aged celebrities, way more than I ever thought I was going to get.
Yeah, you only had to look up one. You only had to research one, and some of you did them all.
Which, yeah, knowledge is power, but I just want to make sure you guys are watching.
Yeah.
Screencast-o-matics.
Exactly. All right, but we do miss you all, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to email both of us.
Or say hi. We miss you and love you.
We do. All right, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.